All right, hey guys, I'm at the Southwest Kiln Conference, and there's lots of stuff going on here. So let me show you what we've been doing. See the pottery on the shelf back here? That is all pottery. That's greenware that's going to be fired either tonight or tomorrow. So we've got different groups. We've got the top shelf is the trench kiln. You can see they have quite a bit of pottery on that, and then this bottom shelf here is for oxidation firing that I'm going to be doing tomorrow afternoon. This over here, this is as a special group. This is the Salado stuff, so it has to be treated a little separately, a little differently. So there's a lot of pots here, and I don't even think that's all of it. I think there's a bunch of tiles, and what about the student pottery? Is that it, or is there that somewhere else too? Does anybody know? The students, all the high school students. So that's their stuff over here. So there's like a high school group here, and this is their pottery down here. So there's a lot of total pots. I don't know, maybe there could easily be 100 pieces here total. I don't know if anybody's done a count. So there's a lot of pots, and then all the tiles that are coming. A lot of work. You have a song about it? Can I get you on YouTube? She wants to sing. This is the song and dance portion. They haven't even been drinking that I'm aware of.
Play with Clay. We're choreographing our dance number, so come back later.
I will hold you to that. Here, I'll show you some of John Olsen stuff over here. So this, John Olsen's been sitting over here. There's a bunch of really beautiful corrugated. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Textured, patterned corrugated. And just look at this. This is like one of those really tiny ones like he gave me, but it's a little bigger, but I mean, it's those tiny, tiny pinches. Can you see the texture on that? Unbelievable. And then he just did this one today. It's still soft. And Bill, what are you doing over here?
I'm going to make a little morel ocarina.
Oh, very cool. Have you made whistles before then?
Yeah, I made a bunch of them in the different shapes with mushrooms for mushroomers.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing those at your house, the mushroom ones. Yeah, very cool.
So you can play it as a dirt clod.
Somebody suggested to me recently that I could do that, you know, on my YouTube channel, make
You ought to try that, yeah.
ocarinas. But I'm a little intimidated, so maybe I'll do some experimenting with it first.
Once you get it down, so you get two of them there. Let's see.
So we're talking about either putting them down like you said, and then sit on them.
Awesome. Oh, and you got a little, so you can play two notes.
Well, you can play up to, you can get 5 or 6 notes. You've got to clean everything out.
But the one you,
Bill is a man of many talents.
And once you get them straight, they get higher pitched the more holes.
So, and just,
Yep. You must have.
And he's got the finest bug collection you've ever seen. Hello from Japan. A bit hard to see the work. Could you tilt the camera down a little bit? I'll go back over the work for you, okay?
do you want to go in with me in a minute because all my pots are still inside? If
you want to go in there and talk about the pots? Okay. We're gonna talk to Cherylene, and then we'll come back and show you the work in a minute. This is the museum, which apparently is closed. It's dark in here.
Yeah. Look at some pots.
Just walking through the museum, if you're just showing up and not. And this is the auditorium where we were given presentations today.
Okay, yeah. Here's some of my stuff, a little bit of it. A lot of experimentation down on this end. Testing clays in both atmospheres, reducing it, bringing a grayware, same exact clay in 2 different atmospheres. So locally collected clay here in southeast Utah. We always are listening for sound. So this is a really high fired in a trench kiln, in a wild trench kiln, so that's a pretty nice temperature to reach. But again, we're talking atmosphere here. Whether it's a lot of oxygen, I'll get these warm tones. If I only limit the oxygen, then I get more of the gray tones. So it's just been a busy day. I did a presentation on this today. There's some funky things going on when we get called spalling, when pieces bust out of the wall of the pot after you fire it. A little hydration of a calcium, almost a quicklime effect, pops the wall out of your pot years after you fire them. These are all these of me. I'm always running the canyons of Utah trying to find source. In this section we were looking at minerals, here we're looking at different clays, and the last one in the back are all these lovely slips from this area. So there's a lot of experimentation in this, and actually the next row is the craziest one of all, because as I bring in all those rocks that he just filmed, then they go in these test jars and go through different kilns. Here in that atmosphere with little oxygen again, you're seeing some beautiful black and gray tones, or we're hoping to, and then I would pick something in this beautiful black to put on a pot at a later point, versus if I let it have the oxygen, almost the same exact minerals then are giving us all these other beautiful warm tones. Look there, we got a black right in the center. It's kind of an anomaly.
So those two cylinders are painted with the same materials?
These are very close right here.
Okay.
Yeah, very
cool.
close.
See, so that's the difference between different atmospheres, either like an oxidating or reducing atmosphere. So
exactly. Yeah. And then the end product is to try to figure out. Actually, you start wanting to make something awesome like this, and if you work your way through using local materials, then hopefully by the end you end up with a beautiful redware.
That's beautiful. Is that slipped?
This is slipped.
Okay.
With a local Utah clay.
Yeah, that is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Red.
We just picked this color up this spring when we were hiking. Really had a hard time finding manganese and in the Utah canyons for some reason. It was a tough find. You can find it up by Moab. Okay. But I am not finding it in this country like I wish I could. And we picked a rock. It's probably one of these boxes that we thought. And I think it's got a little manganese, but there's something else in it. Just give me a little crust and stuff.
Yep.
What a beautiful slip, right?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So that was
Really
a spring
nice.
fire. And then, yeah, I'll let you ask questions. That's a little bit better. There's something else
I have
specific.
any questions, but you see this? Look at that. It's
By
a
the way,
Chaco cylinder.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out on this one, so I'm a replicator. So if you noticed when that was set in flat, that one side's a little bit taller than the other. It's not, this is the taller side versus the lower side. And if you start to look around the rim, you think, oh yeah, these nice little pieces are gonna run right up to the rim, and then you get over here and this one drops, and this one drops. So when I replicate, this is in the Smithsonian, this particular Chaco jar out of room 28, excavated in the early 1900s. But as a replicator, my goal is to literally work off of the full piece and produce the piece exactly, as close to exact as it was. So, mind you, the only reason this is not a spot-on replication, this is organic paint. This is not mineral paint at this point.
Nice.
But again, if we can reach
The original would have been mineral?
Yeah, it would have been mineral. Most Chaco jars are mineral painted. So anyway, but yeah, there's it's a wide variety of stuff. A lot of testing, a lot of time, 10 years, covering ground. But what do you think, Andy? Anything else?
Yeah, really, really beautiful. And she talked a lot today about the experimenting with different clays and different minerals that she does. As she literally goes out in the field and to the places where these pots were made and tries to find the right clays and the right minerals. So there's a lot of work before she ever makes the pot. There's a lot of work that goes into getting the right materials and figuring out the firing regimes and stuff. So sometimes when people see the and I'm not, I'm not running her down or anything, but sometimes when people see the prices on these pots and they go, oh my God, you know what I mean? There's a lot of hours that goes into just the research, let alone the making of the pottery.
No, exactly. We always say we probably lose 20% of the stuff we put in the kilns, although it gets better as you get older or more experienced. But yeah, initially there was probably 3 to 5 years of work before I ever started producing decent looking pottery. So yeah, it's a passion, it's a labor of love for sure. And yeah, something I really enjoy doing. So saying hi to the world. CheryleenCaver.com.
There you go. That's right. Check her out. She's got a beautiful website
for
too.
Sure. Yeah. So are we going to head back out to the other crowd?
Yeah, I'm going to go out the other way and walk around.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks, Cherylene.
See you guys.
What do we got for questions here? How do I get to those? Fine work. Message retracted. Hello. Pottery is quick and easy until you start making things out of clay and firing them. Well, that's for sure. I'm going to walk around these guys. I don't know. They're delivering some. Oh, I see. That's for dinner tomorrow, huh?
Yep.
So we've got a catered dinner tomorrow night, and they're getting ready for that. And so we've got a lot of things going on. Today was mostly presentations in that where we just were in there. So I gave a presentation at 9:30 in the morning, and then there were different people talking about different aspects of pottery and that kind of thing. And then now we're starting to get ready for the real meat of the conference, which is the firing, which is going to start actually within the next hour or so. They're going to do an experimental firing. I do not know. I've never done a live stream on my phone before, so I don't know how to get to all the chats. Passion indeed for us. Okay, I found them. Thank you. Lots of experimentation. Thanks again. So thanks for joining the chat because the live stream, because I'm having some trouble and it's not on the same place where I'd scheduled the live stream because I couldn't do it from my computer. It made it a little different. I'm going to show you that work again over here. That person from Japan had requested a better view of the pottery here. So if I can, I wonder if I can flip the camera. There we go. So okay, these are Salado. So these are oxidized organic paint. These are going to be fired in a special firing, a certain way. Okay. These are oxidation firing. So these will be fired on the surface in an oxidation fire so that the reds and the yellows pop. The colors are bright, okay? And that's what we got in this group here. And these are all different artists. There's some of mine, there's some of my students, and there's some people I don't even know, okay? This down here is for the experimental kiln. And these are going to be fired probably tonight. And then up here, this huge, there's a lot of pots, okay? Let me go over them really slow for you so you can see them. These are going to be fired in the Anasazi trench kiln tomorrow morning early. And there's some beautiful work here. There's corrugated even. And all kinds. So mostly what this is organic paint. Most of these are painted with organic paint on a special Montmorillonite slip. So that will be that classic like Anasazi style black on white pottery. Although there's a few others here that are different too. But that's mostly what the trench kiln is. And then these are more like mineral paints in this group here. Have you guys got that song and dance ready yet? Oh, Abby left, so. Okay, well, we'll check back. Hey, Jeff, would you talk about the school group that you have here?
Absolutely. Hey, how are you? Yeah, so Watershed School in Boulder, Colorado is an experiential school, real-world learning, and we try to get out in the field as much as possible. So I've got a dozen high school students down here doing an art history and studio ceramics class. And the first chunk of our time for this term is focusing on replicating this Southwestern pottery. So really understanding who's making it these days, what they're learning, and what we can learn from that process too. So they're trying to answer some big questions like, how does pottery change what's possible? What can art teach us about the past? And they're doing that through the replicating process. And it's been super exciting to see them lean into it, be inspired by the folks here at the conference. I knew they would be because these are some of the finest folks I've ever get to work with. And then obviously touring collections and touring museum here further inspires them. So I feel super lucky to bring them down here, and hopefully the firing goes well and they get to go home with something that continues to inspire them beyond the course.
It's a great opportunity. I wish I had something like that when I was in school.
Me too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for talking to us.
Yeah.
Wrap it up. Don't let it dry, but let it stay on your hand.
Hey, Bobby. You don't have your pots down here, huh?
Yeah.
Would you talk on camera for a minute about your pots? This is Bobby Silas. If you watched my video this Wednesday, it was all about his recreating Sikyatki polychrome and coal-fired pottery. So he,
my Sikyatki polychrome?
if it's not too much work, I don't want to put you to work.
No, I can go get it.
Okay, he's gonna go get it and then can talk about it. That'd be great. Thanks, Bobby. He's gonna go get his pot and then he can talk about how he did it and maybe some of the symbology on it, which is really great because he can talk about what the different symbols mean and stuff. It's very, very interesting. So let me show you these tiles over here. There's a whole set of tiles that my friend Wayne made. I can get this camera flipped around. Okay, so Wayne collects these Pueblo pottery designs, and he's made this whole set of tiles, and these are all butterflies from different Pueblo pots. And he's made all these tiles, and these are all fired. These are kiln fired. But aren't they beautiful? And he just collects, he likes to collect designs. So this is some way that he can take all those designs that he's collected and display them. Really pretty. And Wayne is right now, he's teaching a pottery, he's teaching a tile painting class inside. So maybe in a little bit we can go in there and see how that goes. But yeah, they're actually painting tiles, and then they'll fire those on Saturday. Hey Bob, can you talk about a little bit about some of your work?
Yeah, sure can.
Oh, show me what you got. Pick something out, and maybe you can talk about black and white pottery or something.
Sure.
This is Bob Casillas. He's a potter from Colorado.
Hello everyone. So I do black and white pottery, and this is one of the ones we're going to fire in the trench kiln this week. This is organic paint and a membranous design, of course, of parrots. I also have some mineral that I want to try to fire. So both of these are slipped with the Cannonball White slip, and this is mineral paint. And all of these are going to be going into the trench kiln. And you can see what we have here is quite a number of pieces. I think we counted 75 pieces that are going to go. And in addition to that, I'm going to refire this kind of smudgy, smoky thing, and we'll see if that clears up. And also this oxidized bowl, which I think actually already has a little crack, but we're going to fire that tomorrow too and see how that goes. So, pretty exciting stuff. Really fantastic conference.
What's your website?
www.potteryoftheancients.com.
So check that out. Bob has workshops too, so especially if you're in Colorado, look him up.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thanks, Bob. So here's Bobby's big Sityaki polychrome pot that he fired in that video on Wednesday. Isn't that gorgeous? Let me turn the camera around, and maybe you can you maybe talk about the symbology on it? Because that was really great when you did that for Aaron.
Sure, let me do that.
Yeah, yeah.
So the symbology consists of
Flip the camera. I mean the microphone around. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm struggling here, guys. Sorry. Okay, Bobby. Sorry about that.
consists of like several different things. It has messengers, and it has corn. It has cloud beans and different styles of clouds on there. There's red clouds. There's yellow clouds. Here's a red cloud in a formation. You have a yellow cloud here attached with in Hopi they call it a Nazi. It's something that they put in the ground to signify that from a certain religious point of view of the prayer, what they want. And here you have your insect, your animal. This represents the cloud. These eyes, these are eyes, and this represents the ancestors looking out through the clouds. So these are eyes technically, and then you have your steps coming down, and that signifies that's how the ancestors are going to come down in the form of rain. And you have your multicolored corn, and then your eagle tail here, which is the messenger for this prayer for rain for this specific type of corn, the multicolored corn. And then you have another messenger here, which is your dragonfly, and also is a messenger saying that there's a good water source nearby. If you ever see a dragonfly, they're known to be where water is. And then you have your clouds here, your clouds intertwining, and we say that they're fighting to make it rain. And this is like a clouds holding its rain. It hasn't let it go yet. and then you have your eye here of your another spiritual being looking out, and then here you have your rainbow, your black cloud, and your yellow. And this rainbow right here, this line is breaking the clouds in half to make them not to tell them to stop making it rain. And then you have your blue and white corn. This represents your blue and white corn. And then your the animal, the spirit, a spiritual essence of a bird flying into this prayer for the corn. And then this is a mixture of, I would say, San Bernardo and Sikyatki polychrome. It's like a transitional piece almost. But I did change the symbology around and kind of put my own spiritual meaning to the pot. But it's not to the original, the pot, except this part, which is very common for San Bernardo. And so, yeah, and then this is coal-fired pottery. And
this pot is already sold, guys, but he has others. So here's the best way to contact you if somebody wanted to look into buying some of your pottery, Bobby.
They can contact me through 505-458-3674, and or my email is KITSUNESILAS@gmail.com.
Perfect. Thank you. You want to show us your work?
I don't have anything there.
Oh, okay. Arturo is a gourd artist. Let me switch this. See Tony on camera for a second? Yeah. Look, guys. It's Tony Soares. He's making corrugated.
Just
Check that
goofing
out.
around.
Right on. Oh, little tiny ones too, huh?
Trying to do what John does, but I don't have the patience.
I'm telling you. There's a whole like John Olsen mindset that you have to have, where you're just totally calm and relaxed.
You gotta sit on a folding chair
And
that
then
has
when
your
you're
feet
as
up.
fast as he is,
It's the John Olsen way.
patience is less of an
Oh, and
issue.
let me see what you're doing, Jake.
Oh, I'm just putting some bee plant on a little pot here.
Nice. Did you make the pot?
Yeah, I did.
Cool. You gonna fire that tomorrow?
That's the plan. If I can get it on there quick enough.
Is this a slip that you know is going to do well with bee plant?
This is actually not a slip. This is the whole. That's just
Oh,
the clay
it's a
body.
pot it's a clay that does well with bee plant, though. You
Does,
know
yeah.
that from past experience.
I do.
Jake is a potter in Kanab, and you do workshops.
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So how would somebody get a hold of you if they were interested in one of your workshops?
I'd say just look up Jake Hartner on Instagram or Facebook.
Okay.
I do basket weaving as well.
Right on.
So I think my profile picture is me weaving a basket. There's a bunch of sticks in my face. So,
All right.
Yeah.
So
check it
check out Jake, and Tony doesn't have a website. Let's see. How would somebody get a hold of you, Tony?
Instagram, Tony Soares Pottery.
There you go.
Check out Tony Soares Pottery Native Clays on YouTube.
All right, and he does flint napping too,
Both
and
of them.
he makes bows and arrows and all kinds of stuff, huh?
Yep, pretty much
Like,
everything.
there's a lot of guys here that are multi-talented. John and Tony and Jake, all the multi-talented people are here together. How about you, Rod? You got something you want to talk about? Like a pot or something you can show us?
Well, I'm only going to make
All I did was all my other pots are over at the car and stuff, but I
Can I get you on camera?
certainly.
So this is my friend Rod Dotson, right?
That's
And
right.
Rod's in Boise,
Boise, yeah.
and you do some workshops and stuff too, right?
I do on occasion, yeah, and I.
But he's not just pottery. He's like primitive skills kind of thing, right?
That's right.
So maybe you can
Flint
explain like
napping,
what you do.
basketry.
Basketry.
I basically, well, I found out I was good for some reason, at doing chipping arrowheads and playing with clay and rubbing sticks and make fire. Wasn't good in math. Wasn't good in conjugating verbs and had report cards to show it. But I could chip the hell out of an arrowhead or track a horny toad in sand. But so anyway, I found out that I was good at this stuff and found a program down in Arizona called the Anasazi Foundation that Larry Olsen had started.
Okay.
Worked with troubled teens. And
Are they still there?
they're still there.
Cool.
Right there in Mesa's their headquarters, and I did that for about 10 years. They wanted to pay me to go camping, you know, and work with kids, and I ended up being their skills instructor, and they'd send me off to different conferences and other things like that, and museums, and just learning about, you know, the materials that different material culture was made out of, you know, and bring it back and teach the staff, and it was something good. I would have still stayed there, but they said in order to go any higher, I had to get a degree. So I went back to school, and I also had a passion for anthropology and psychology, so I ended up becoming a psychotherapist.
Right on.
But still try to take people out, try to take some of our, I work with the veterans up there in Idaho, up at the VA, and we go out on occasion and do some stuff, or go out behind, we used to have a sweat lodge behind the behavioral health building, or go out and do a little flint napping or friction fires or whatnot, and just kind of talk about life.
Right on.
Yeah.
It's good for them, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for me, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So, all right. Thanks for talking to us.
welcome.
I'm going to go see if I can find that tile painting class, guys. And I think they're still working on painting tiles. Hey, if you want to, smash that like button for me, okay? That'll help me. Go on. You know where the tile painters are? I think they went in here, didn't they? I'm just gonna wander around. What are they worst they can do? Throw me out? I thought they went this way. Oh, this is the silent auction. So different potters brought in pots, and then people can come in and leave bids on them, and then like 30% of the sale price goes to the museum here, and then the rest goes back to the potter. So that's that. I don't know where the tile painters are. I thought I saw them walk in this way. Maybe they're in the maybe they're in that auditorium. I'm still looking around. Stick with me. You know where the tile painters went?
No.
I thought they were in here somewhere.
Yeah.
You have a clue.
They are upstairs.
They're upstairs.
Yeah.
I'm going.
I did see them there.
I'm going. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, going upstairs, looking for the tile painting class, and see how they're doing. Does Silas have Instagram? Yeah, he does. No, he has a Facebook, I think. I don't know if he does Instagram. But he has a weird, like a Japanese name, so I can't even tell you how to look it up. It's literally spelled in Japanese characters. Oh, you're welcome, Alan. I'm upstairs, and it's really dark. I think I've taken a wrong turn somewhere. I better go back down. I'm afraid if I go through the wrong door, an alarm will go off. Oh, no, I found him. I hear Wayne's voice.
And one time I had 40 hours and it said Delphi canteen and I broke off a lug that was greenware.
Hey there, Wayne. I didn't mean to interrupt you. But can you talk a little bit about your tile painting class real quick?
Oh, I have.
Well, to the camera here.
Oh.
They're curious what you're doing.
Sure. Hi, I'm Wayne Keane. So we're doing a tile painting class. And what we have is wild clays that I made tiles with. And I rolled out a slab of clay and I have a little jig that cuts rectangular tiles. Most of the tiles made by Native Americans between 1900 and 1940 were rectangular. So I made a little jig in my workshop that's beveled that cuts the tiles out. You can cut the tiles out by rolling a slab and then taking a needle tool and cutting it out. And you can customize the size, knowing that they shrink a little bit. And then I dry them between layers of drywall in a great big sandwich. I usually do about 50 tiles at a time. And then I weight it down with a bunch of weight. in 3 weeks, I take them out. Sometimes some of the ones in the middle are still a little damp. I just let them dry for a day on a table. And by that point, they'll dry flat. And then I sand them with a pretty coarse sandpaper, and then I smooth them by wetting them. And then I usually slip them with the white slip or with Hopi clay. I have about 550 designs in the collection, of probably 95% of them are Hopi tiles. And these were all, none of these were made before 1900. They were made for the tourist industry. And then there's about 4% that are Zia tiles, and then there's one Zuni tile that was made before World War II. They're rarer than hen's teeth. And so then what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to fire in an outdoor sheep dung firing. Bobby Silas is going to help me with that. And these tiles were slipped with Hopi clay. And because we're painting stuff that was made for the tourist industry, I don't think that we're depicting anything that's sacred.
Right.
I want to stay clear of things. Sometimes when I'm looking at auctions and stuff, I'll see something and I'll go, that should never have left the kiva.
Mm-hmm.
You know, somebody stole that and sold it, and they shouldn't have done it. So usually at this point, everybody's really quiet because they're really concentrating. And so the goal here is that we get the Hopi blush tomorrow from the sheep dung, and everybody gets to take home a piece of artwork.
Awesome, awesome. I got to tell you guys that Wayne's Kiln Conference tile painting workshops are legendary. He's been doing them for a long time, and people always give rave reviews. Between you and Gene Hickman have been doing nothing but ancient pottery. Thanks for addiction. Thanks, Colleen. Yeah, it is kind of an addiction. Let me switch the camera around. You can see he's got a bunch of students crammed in here, and they're all diligently painting. And look at all the material that Wayne has, like laminated, or I guess it's in little slide-in sheets.
Document protectors.
To look at for inspiration, which is great, because that's important. All right. Thanks, Wayne. I appreciate you letting me.
Where did Bobby go off to?
He was downstairs showing off his pot just a second ago. I'll send him up here. He doesn't know where you're at.
Up here, yeah.
I will.
Excellent,
I will get him.
Excellent. I really want to.
Yeah, I gotta go get Bobby for Wayne, because he was supposed to help him with that. Being that he's a Hopi potter, he knows a little bit about painting Hopi tiles. So here we go. From here you can see the folks outside. Yeah, everybody's being pretty safe. Most of our activities are actually outdoors, so much less a problem with getting sick. I think most of the people here are vaccinated as well, so hopefully nobody gets sick, right? Hi, guys. All right, I got to find Bobby if he's still out here. There he is. Bobby, Wayne wants you to come up and look at the tile painting and talk to him. Can you do that?
Yeah.
I'll put that away if you want, if you trust me to do it. Yeah, I'll watch it.
Not in your truck.
Oh, and it goes in my trailer, actually. If you're okay, I'll watch it for you.
I'll sit here with him.
Leander, can I talk to you on camera for a second? Is that okay with you?
Sure.
This is Leander Gridley,
Yes.
and he's one of the early replicators of prehistoric pottery in this area. So when did you start? Like maybe the 80s?
Started digging my own clay and pit firing maybe 77, 78.
Yeah, that's pretty darn early.
And although it didn't really have much guidance, a couple of books.
Right. You're mostly self-taught at that point?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'd thrown on the potter's wheel for quite a while before that, and was really enamored with the potter's wheel and never realized the incredible work that prehistoric people have done everywhere.
For sure.
And it really became a challenge to to create vessels by coil and hand building, and I love the interaction with the clay that is so much more than throwing on the potter's wheel, because you add to it and you work with it in the different stages of development and hardness and such, and it just has a magical connection, and there's just something really special.
I agree.
Sentenced to clay.
Are you do you teach still, or?
Yeah.
Where do you teach?
Yeah. Well, I've taught at different school groups.
I see.
But taught at Kelly Place for a long time, 30 years maybe, and now we're working with Canyon Trails Ranch in McElmo. And teaching some of the school groups that have come down from Denver.
Nice.
But I still travel around and do that when people ask me.
So if somebody wanted to get a hold of you about maybe doing a presentation or teaching or something,
I'd be happy.
What would be the best way to contact you?
Probably just connect with me over the phone.
Can you give your phone number out?
Email, sure. 970-739-1097.
Okay, I've got like 13,000 subscribers on YouTube, so hopefully somebody will see it.
Well, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always fun to share it, and I love working with kids.
Good.
It's neat to turn them on to something that's not technical.
Right.
And they just really gravitate to it. You know, you show them how to mix the clay, and basically they say, "Go away, I'm going to do this on my own." So it's
I love that.
Fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Great.
And have really enjoyed seeing your work on YouTube.
Great. You've seen some of my videos then?
Yes.
Great.
No,
Good. All right. Well, thanks for talking to me,
Very nice.
Leander.
Thank you, Andy.
All right, guys. I think I'm gonna call it good. I got to run Bobby's pot back to the trailer, and I've talked to everybody I wanted to talk to. So, unless you guys have any questions, is there more questions that I missed here? Glad to see everyone masked up. Was the last one. So 26 guys. If you guys have any questions, ask them now, or I'm gonna shut it off. Just because I don't know what else to tell you that I haven't already told you. Are there any questions coming up? Hit that like button for me, guys, if you haven't already. Yes, this is an annual event. It's held in different places around the Southwest every year, so it's not always here in Blanding. Right now it's in Blanding, which is southeast Utah. No, I don't know Michael Moberger at all. Is he a pottery instructor or something like that? Thanks, Andy. You're welcome. Thank you for watching. Yeah, it's an annual event. We didn't have one in 2020, obviously, but the last one we had, 2019, was in Globe, Arizona. Previous to that, we were over by Albuquerque. Can you bring it here to Japan? I don't know. That would be really fun, but probably not many of these people would be able to get there. So Bobby Silas, who I talked to earlier, actually is learning Japanese. So he'd be the guy to talk to. He would love to make a trip to Japan. Wrote a book in 1980. Oh, that guy. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen him. But I don't even know the name. I'll have to look it up. If you drop a comment with the link to the book on Amazon, I will look into it, okay? Maybe give the guy a call or something. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a great day. I don't know how to turn this off. I'm stuck on here forever. Help. Seriously.